Look how desolate it is now. This is the center of the Xi'an High-Tech Development Zone, right next to Science Road on Line 6 and Northwestern Polytechnical University on Line 5. This area used to be bustling with vibrant streets and shops, but this is what it looks like today. Footage I personally shot at noon. Almost every shop is either closed or out of business, their doors tightly locked with heavy padlocks. The streets no longer have the same grandeur. Behind each entrepreneur is a family's hope and support, and their own dreams from the past. While I don't encourage blindly starting a business in times like these, we must respect these entrepreneurs. They're fighting for their dreams. That said, I think one way to manage this situation could be to explore online promotions or find ways to sublease the shop space to cut losses. It might be a good idea.
As the year-end approaches, regions across China are experiencing an unusual bleakness. Scenes of foreign companies withdrawing, factories shutting down, and commercial streets going bankrupt have become daily reality rather than isolated incidents. This phenomenon highlights not just challenges within the retail sector, but also signals broader signs of economic downturn. Talking about economic downturn, Beijing is a typical example. Brothers, take a look. This is Sunday, and there's barely anyone in the malls in Beijing. Look at the environment, whether it's Luckin Coffee across the street, C-Trip, this KTV, or even the food court. As far as I know, none of these businesses are making money. The economic situation across the industry, and even the overall environment, is honestly far from ideal. If you're still thinking about opening a store and believe you're destined to succeed, or that your skills are exceptional, let me give you some advice. Wait a little longer. Things aren't as good as we imagined. Yes, dining is a basic need, but now, people are cutting back on expenses wherever they can. Many choose not to dine out unless absolutely necessary. It's just too hard to run a business these days. A video circulating online shows a nearly empty Beijing mall on a Sunday, sparking widespread concern. In the footage, vast mall spaces are sparsely populated, with businesses still operational but shops largely vacant. This is not a fictional scenario from a movie or sci-fi novel, but a stark depiction of the realities faced by China's major cities today. The abrupt slowdown in China's economy and its prolonged stagnation have caught everyone off guard. Jobs are increasingly difficult to find, housing loans are going unpaid, and both individuals and families are bearing the brunt of the economic strain. From grassroots workers to blue-collar, white-collar, and even high-level professionals, all have been affected by the economic decline. The realization that the situation may not improve and could even worsen over the next decade has led to widespread anxiety and a collapse in confidence in the future. I've messed up my life. I'm exhausted. I was born in 1987. I'm 37, and I've spent all of my family's savings on a house and car. Now I have nothing. It's just so hard. Why is adulthood so tough? I have no one to talk to. I can't tell my parents. I can't let them know I've let my life fall apart like this. With worsening economic conditions, the job market continues to deteriorate. University graduates are finding themselves unemployed immediately after graduation. A growing number of young people are lowering their expectations to take on roles such as food delivery drivers or rideshare drivers just to make ends meet. A viral video on Douyin captures a food delivery worker breaking down in tears at a red light after slipping twice in the rain and delivering 5 orders in vain. The worker, burdened by mortgage debts, struggles daily to make a living. Yet, with debts amounting to millions of yuan and monthly earnings of only a few thousand, the psychological impact of this disparity is overwhelming.
Since losing my job, I feel like I can't take it anymore. I'm becoming more and more lost, unable to change my current situation. The pressure of rent and just affording 3 meals a day is making me more anxious by the minute. I don't even dare to call my family. I can't tell them I've been out of work for so long. I don't want to burden them with more worries. Businesses across all sectors are struggling. To be honest, physical stores are in decline and so many people are being laid off. It's not that we don't want to find jobs, it's that there are barely any jobs available. The psychological pressure is overwhelming. Sometimes it feels like there's no way out.
The sentiment, if you have a job that pays on time, don't quit, has become a common refrain among workers. In today's dismal economic climate, having a stable source of income has become a rare privilege. Despite this, the vibrancy of cities is gradually fading. Subway stations no longer see bustling crowds, malls are eerily empty, and storefronts await customers who may never come. Places once symbolic of urban vitality now exude desolation. Cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Xi'an, along with others, are enduring an unprecedented economic winter. The overall economic decline in China has led to an early surge in wage disputes, with the construction, automotive manufacturing, and export industries becoming the hardest hit sectors for unpaid wages in 2024.
My family can't even afford to survive anymore. My health is poor and I don't even have money to stay alive. Please, I beg you to give me my wages. Help us. It's not easy being an ordinary person. I have children and elderly family members to care for at home.
Please don't do this. Stay calm. Stay composed. Don't take things this far.
Someone promised to pay me. I don't care. I don't care. My family doesn't even have a penny left. I'm begging you. You promised me. Please give us the wages we are owed as migrant workers.
A recent video titled "Woman Begging for Unpaid Wages" has gone viral on social media, delivering a heartbreaking visual. A woman dressed in black is seen lying on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably as she clings tightly to the leg of a man. The man, an employee of ChemChina's 14th construction company tasked with mediating the wage dispute, insists he has no authority to help and attempts to leave the scene, ignoring her pleas. In another video, the same woman is seen kneeling at the entrance of a retractable gate, bowing repeatedly in tears, desperately hoping the company would fulfill its promise and pay the wages owed to her family. The woman, surnamed Fang, is from Jiangsu province. Her husband, who worked as an electrician at ChemChina's 14th construction, left the company years ago, but is still owed 180,000 yuan in unpaid wages. The couple has repeatedly sought payment from the company but faced constant rejection, with the company claiming it has no funds. Fang's family is struggling. She has 2 children, a 12-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son, both in school. Despite their efforts, the family's demands have gone unanswered. Fang recalled the events leading up to the incident. On the morning of November 19th, she, her husband, and 2 other workers went to the company's office to demand payment. What followed was the now viral scene of her kneeling in desperation, recorded by bystanders and widely shared online. Fang also holds a mediation agreement stamped with the company's official seal. The document, issued by ChemChina's 14th construction, promises to pay the wages to the workers' accounts by October 31st, 2024. Pulling the agreement from her pocket, Fang told reporters that 20 days had passed since the promised deadline, yet no payment had been made. The videos sparked an outpouring of emotion online. Some expressed sympathy and wrote, "For a woman to cry like this while clinging to someone's leg, how desperate must her family's situation be?" Others voiced outrage. How can a state-owned enterprise withhold wages from migrant workers, forcing someone to kneel? Aren't they ashamed? Amid the wave of support, however, many comments reflected a sense of helplessness. One user asked, "As the year ends, stories like this always resurface. Labor laws are promoted every year, yet wage arrears persist. When will this cycle end?" Others noted systemic flaws. Even with a signed agreement, they still won't pay. What's the point of such agreements? Given the company's background, there's probably protection behind the scenes. Do ordinary people even stand a chance in court? These remarks highlight the deep societal pain points surrounding wage disputes. This issue is not just a single family's tragedy, but a broader struggle between disadvantaged workers and systemic injustice. Fang's experience is far from unique. It represents a recurring issue. In the construction industry in particular, wages are often delayed due to subcontracting practices, leaving migrant workers at the bottom of the chain unpaid. Companies exploit workers' lack of resources to pursue prolonged legal battles, using delayed tactics to withhold wages. Take ChemChina's 14th construction as an example. As a major state-owned enterprise, the company has undertaken numerous large-scale projects in recent years. Yet, worker wages are delayed year after year, and even government-mediated agreements turned out to be empty promises. This reflects deeper systemic issues in Chinese society, China is currently in a period of turmoil, with countless disputes and rights defense cases happening daily. On November 28th, in Xinjiang, Hubei province, workers from Yuanlin Qing distillery took to the rooftop to protest unpaid wages, a standoff that reportedly lasted 8 days. Pay us back, give us our hard-earned wages. These cries echoed from a worker interviewed on site. The developer owes over 2 million yuan in wages to migrant workers, with work having halted after just a month. Now, more than 2 months later, over 200 workers remain unpaid and stranded at the site without water or electricity. While half the wages have been paid, the company has deferred the remainder, claiming it will be resolved in 2 weeks. On December 4th, thousands of retired forestry workers in Yichun, Heilongjiang province, gathered in front of the city government to protest the long-term withholding of cold region subsidies, heating allowances, and housing subsidies. These retirees from multiple forestry bureaus under Yichun Forest Industry Group have faced years, even decades, of withheld benefits, severely impacting their lives. Videos from the protest show workers holding placards bearing the names of their respective forestry bureaus, chanting slogans like "Meet the Mayor" and demanding urgent action. Tensions flared during the protest, with some workers clashing with stability maintenance officers. Ultimately, a deputy mayor met with worker representatives, promising a written response within 15 working days, after which the crowd dispersed. On the same day, hundreds of workers at KVE Sports in Emeishan, Sichuan, went on strike over the company's failure to pay social security contributions. Public records reveal that this shoe manufacturing company, established in 2007, once employed 6,000 people at its peak. Due to declining orders and disrupted cash flow, many Chinese manufacturing factories are struggling, leading to closures and a surge in worker strikes. Between December 2nd and 3rd alone, 14 manufacturing worker strikes were reported across Guangdong, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Fujian, and Chongqing. Most incidents stemmed from unpaid wages and factory shutdowns, affecting industries like electronics, toys, clothing, footwear, and glassware. Guangdong had the highest number of strikes with 5, followed by Jiangsu with 3. The wave of unemployment and wage cuts in China has triggered increasingly extreme incidents. Reports have even surfaced of frustrated workers setting factories on fire after unsuccessful wage demands. On the afternoon of November 30th, a massive fire broke out at the factory in Quantang Street, Changsha County, Hunan Province. Thick smoke billowed into the air, resembling storm clouds and spreading across multiple buildings. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but the fire caused significant damage to the factory's infrastructure. While officials cited preliminary findings on the cause, they declined to disclose details, fueling public speculation. Sources allege the fire was started by a former employee seeking unpaid wages. China's economic challenges continue to mount, with wage arrears becoming widespread even among state-owned enterprises. Several factors contribute to this issue. First, local governments are burdened with heavy debt and severe fiscal difficulties. Outstanding payments owed to construction companies have dragged down businesses, forcing many to implement wage cuts or delays to cope. Recent data from China's State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission reveals staggering liabilities among leading construction enterprises. China State Construction was 2.1 trillion yuan, China Communications Construction 1.34 trillion yuan, China Railway Corporation 1.29 trillion yuan, and China Railway Construction with 1.27 trillion yuan. Combined, these four giants carry over 6 trillion yuan in debt. Second, the real estate sector, once a key pillar of China's economy, has collapsed. For years, local governments have relied on land sales and real estate development for revenue. However, the sector's downturn, marked by high-profile bankruptcies and plummeting property sales, has severely reduced local government income, undermining their ability to fund expenditures. This vicious cycle has created immense pressure on both governments and businesses, leading to layoffs, wage cuts, and diminished consumer spending, further depressing market demand. Third, weak labor law enforcement allows companies to delay payments with minimal repercussions, often settling with nominal penalties. Meanwhile, workers face high costs and lengthy processes in arbitration and legal proceedings. The wage arrears crisis reflects not only corporate failings but also regulatory negligence. State-owned enterprises like ChemChina's 14th Construction continue to win contracts despite their history of wage arrears. This irresponsible management style perpetuates the issue, leaving workers to protest as a last resort. The image of a Jiangsu woman clinging to a leg and kneeling is a stark cry for justice from the grassroots, and a silent indictment of systemic oppression. Professor Shihe Ling from Monash University's Department of Economics told the Voice of America that Chinese construction workers lack robust contract protections, making wage arrears particularly severe in the construction industry. Moreover, China's aggressive push into electric vehicle production, involving complex supply chains, has exacerbated financial strain across sectors. Suppliers are pressured to cut costs or extend payment terms, leading to a cycle of unpaid invoices and wage delays. Shihe Ling emphasized that Chinese workers lack effective avenues for recourse. With no independent judiciary, unions, or NGOs allowed, many are left with no option but to resort to extreme measures. The violent incidents that have occurred in 2024 underscore the lack of mechanisms to address systemic inequality.